WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All righty, so the timer in SVG, it is 8:11, and we are back with another commentary segment of our Activated Mornings program. And with us is, as usual on a Monday morning, Dr. Gerald Thompson. He's missing an angel this morning, but
one angel
short.
Yes.
Let me see something. Talk again, let me hear something.
Yes. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you now.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, that wasn't you. It was my fault. Right. So, Doc, how was your weekend?
My weekend was an Olympic weekend. I sat back and I enjoyed those last few days. You know, I've been a big supporter of the Caribbean athletes and performers. The Africans just blew me away. And of course, having lived in the United States, I have a soft touch for the USA as well. So the US.
So what's your order?
I loved it.
What's your order? Because I need to know. What's your order?
Kind of guy. I love stuff in the basket. I enjoy sports and support athletes. But it was the outcome. Seeing the closing ceremony, not so much the fireworks, but how it brought people together. And a few controversies here and there, and Paris was hot, and the River Seine, the environment. But I just love the way the Olympic brings people together in competition. But basically, I felt good. I felt to be a human alive today. In spite of it all, I felt damn good, if I could say that.
Well, you've said it.
I have a question for you, Doc. Were you an athlete when you were younger? Did you take part in any sport?
I ran for St. Vincent. I was an 800 meters runner. I used to run the road relay. I basically was a football player, not so much of a cricketer, although I played cricket in England. When it comes to St. Vincent, people were just too good. But with soccer, I used to live near to the Arsenal football stadium. Folks, but I'm a lifelong Man United fan. But here, I played for Arnesville. We made it into the A division. I scored a goal in every single game I played. I was a specialist on heading the ball. Everybody knew me as a person who could, like a Michael Jordan, I could get up, stay a little bit airborne, and head that ball into the net. Now, it's interesting you ask that question, but athletics was really my main thing. And I enjoyed that, you know, long distance, middle distance, and long distance running.
And this is what keeping you looking so youthful and young and thing.
I had a little bit of stamina, they said, you know, so, you know, I've tried to
like
keep
you had
that.
a lot of stamina, not a little bit. Sounds like you had a lot.
No, listen, you see, I don't want to do like a certain call who normally calls, you know, that subject.
You mean your friend?
I basically, I'm an average guy. I did well. I love sports, as well as, you know, I was into chess. I was into, you know, photography. I was into the academics, debate. I did quite a lot when I was young. I enjoyed it. You know?
That sounds like a good fulfilled.
And I also partied a lot, you know. I used to play carnival. We had a group, SOS, Save Our State, activists. And you'd be surprised who were members of that group. And I also, in my Arnesville Cultural and Sports Club, we participated in carnival. We won section of the year twice, you know. And Juve and all. I mean, I could write a little about that.
Oh, you have stories to tell your grandchildren too.
Yes.
You've lived a full life.
Yes.
And continuing to live a full life.
Continue. I got a long way to go, man. I ain't with my boat to show. No. You understand? I got a long way to go.
Dianna's first comment to him this morning when he walked in, it's like, you look so youthful.
Yeah, he's looking lovely this morning, looking a bit younger, so you don't know what, whatever he did over the weekend, it was great.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, it was the Olympics, put it that way.
The
An
Olympics.
Olympic week.
Reviving that young athletic
Thank
spirit
you
in
very
you.
much.
Yes.
Thank you, Dianna. Thank you. You put a smile on my face.
All right, Doc. All right. So before we get into some of the other stories, just to give you an update, so I didn't notice that the Olympics closing ceremony took place yesterday because I was paying attention to Junior Panorama. All right. So we have the results for yesterday's Junior Panorama, which was held. First for the community bands was Starlift Steel Orchestra, second Symphonics, and third Elite. All right. So Crystal Friend, good morning to you. And for the school bands category, first was Bishop's College Kingston, CW Prescott placed second, third South Rivers Methodist, and fourth Newgrounds Primary School. All right, so those are the results for yesterday's Panorama, Junior Panorama that was held at the Victoria Park. All right.
Yeah. All right, so now that we've had those results, we're gonna head into our topic for this segment. Very interesting topic here that we came across over the weekend. The world boss, the Jamaican world boss, is considering
The world boss. Let me stop, but just saying it.
Right. So that well, how you want to put it? The world boss or the Jamaican world boss until that issue is resolved. Right. So Vibes Cartel considers SVG for best treatment possible for Graves' disease. I'm going to read from an article here on Eyewitness News. It says Jamaican dancehall artist Vibes Cartel, who was released from prison on July 31st after being freed of a murder charge, is considering St. Vincent and the Grenadines for treatment of his Graves' disease. In an interview with Television Jamaica 1 week after he was freed, he said that, 1 week after being freed from prison, he said that he was diagnosed with Graves' disease, but he's not ready for the grave. But we're not ready for the grave, Cartel said, so we just call it hypothyroid disease. Right? I'm going down, so I'm trying to take out the necessary information here. Right, so Kartel said that during the first stages of his illness, he used to sweat a lot, his hands would shake, and he had swelling of the eyes. As a matter of fact, he said it's not only treatable, but it's curable, and he said that he will be flying out to meet with some high-tech team, possible in St. Vincent, Cuba, or Switzerland, to seek out the best treatment possible. So of the three places he mentioned, we are there in consideration for his treatment of his Graves' disease. And my first thought, we hot like that? That was my first thought when I saw that. We hot like that? No, I have not heard of anything before of us, with Graves' disease. So I was really surprised because normally we just fly out to go to other countries when we have serious illnesses. So to hear Kartel say that he's considering meeting with specialists here, that was quite surprising for me. Doc, as somebody as a medical practitioner, what are your thoughts?
Well, I can tell you that just over the last 2 weeks, we know at the top of the runway, you saw the fence going up for the construction of what's called the acute referral or acute care hospital. This is going to be a magnificent facility that is going to accomplish what I think Vincent has been asking for a long time. But the word acute referral and acute care, it also, because it will attract doctors from many parts of the world, including Cuba, including the United States and so forth, to be not only resident there and online, it's going to be a real referral center, not just for Vincentians locally to be referred from other local hospitals, but from the region and from other parts of the world, people coming in for expert care. And that's why, on one hand, it's called acute referral and acute care hospital, because it's going to greatly improve that of St. Vincent. Currently, there's been major improvements in pediatric care, in terms of, and there's some notable doctors in St. Vincent, and so who's gained success. People don't beat their chests, and they don't, so, you know, a lot of stuff behind it may be not known, but don't bet against St. Vincent in the Grenadines. Yes,
but it's the timing, Doc. I am all for when the hospital is built and everything.
I'm talking about it's not only going to be for such. I've done it broadly, and so I'm not a person who typically comments on anybody's illness. I mean, Graves' disease is what, you know, in your thyroid gland, which lies just at your neck here. You can have a little nodule that is releasing a hormone called thyroxine, and it could release too much. Or with Graves' disease, it is something a little in the inflammatory area where the thyroid is inflamed, and it is releasing these thyroxine type substances. And thyroxine, what it does, it's like a kind of adrenaline rush. It makes your heartbeat go fast. It makes you sweat. It makes you shaky. It basically is hyper metabolistic, if I call it. Makes you burn energy. So people lose weight. And a whole set of other symptoms I want to get into details. And so I saw a picture of Vibes Kartel, and I noticed that, you know, his face was puffy and his eyes were thin. And I did look at his picture, showed his neck and so forth. It causes that thyroid gland to also swell a little bit. But what he has, I don't think we can get into full detail because he hasn't read anything. But there may be entities in St. Vincent, associated with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that may be able to treat this condition. They talk about it being curable. They talk about, some people are skeptical about that, but in terms of the treatment of it, it definitely can be treated. I've treated many of these conditions before when I was in active practice. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Don't rule St. Vincent out, not just in relation to Graves' disease, but a wide range of other diseases. I'm expecting in St. Vincent later to see, in terms of testing people for heart attacks, you know, preventing heart attacks, in terms of kidney disease and other things like that. So it opens up the possibility, and I'm broadening it.
So you're saying it is possible we do have the competent doctors who can treat this disease here?
Well, you see, put it this way. Well, you know, you have doctors who are actually really accomplished, who come here to St. Vincent also. And when I mention about the structure, that's one thing, but you have to have then the doctors to be inside there. I mean, you have Dr. Caesar Brown, who's a double board certified physician, you know what I mean? And you have other doctors. We have several pathologists. We have several urologists now. We have the ability also, in terms of our links with that of Cuba and so forth, to have persons here. So without getting into details of who it is and getting into the names and so forth, which I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? I'm saying don't rule St. Vincent out when it comes to these particular type of things.
Go ahead, Dianna.
No, I was just saying, all right. So go ahead. Yeah.
Right. When I heard it first, I actually wondered if it was going to be a team of specialists coming to SVG to help him with the condition, to help treat the condition, as opposed to, let's say, as opposed to, let's say, we already have these specialists here. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But my initial thoughts was that a team of specialists were going to come here to help him. And then when I thought about it, I then why doesn't he just go to them?
Yes. And I could answer that question, but I am not going to get into that particular aspect of getting into any names. But I'm saying there are some very accomplished physicians who ain't beating their chest. And yes, there are people who come to St. Vincent on a regular or sometimes an irregular basis and so forth, that can be involved. Graves is a treatable disease. And it's a matter of one, the facility, the doctor, and having confidence. The patient must have also confidence that this is something that can be done. And so if that's the case, it's a good thing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in that regard. It will inspire other people who typically travel thinking that it's better, greener pastures is better out there. And there are some greener pastures out there.
So in terms of that, is it usually, could it be, you're saying, right, that some travel because they think it's greener pastures out there, but is it real? I mean, it can't always be like that, right? Certainly there could be some cases where the help just it's not here. It really isn't here, and they have to go.
So sometimes it just isn't here. You're absolutely right about that. But I can see when I practice in America, the names of people who came to New York for me to organize treatment for them or for me to treat, it's a long list. I am saying that has changed. Contacted me, their cost might have been significantly reduced, but for some people, their costs were through the roof. They had to mortgage homes. They had to mortgage. It was a poverty-stricken thing just to gain some element of a leg up on your health. And it can be very, very, very costly in terms of traveling abroad, especially when you can receive similar type of treatment here. But it also comes down to confidence. There are people who will advise you. Over this weekend, there's somebody who was telling me, I referred them to a particular physician. He said, no, I won't go. Somebody tell me, don't go to him. Go to you will gain, you will give people advice. You will give people advice. Cost them a lot.
All right. So I guess Doc is saying we're not ruling it out, right?
Give SVG a chance.
How many times did I say that? I said so about 2
Say that again.
times.
Say that again.
I said,
All right. So that is where it stands with regards to that article, the video that actually came out of Kartel saying that he's considering SVG as a place of treatment with regards to his Graves' disease. All right. We will continue after the break, after courts. So the PM pleads with contractors to apply for work with government. So Prime Minister, reading this from Eyewitness News as well, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is pleading with contractors to apply for work with the government to repair buildings across St. Vincent and the Grenadines damaged by Hurricane Beryl. He made the plea as he read on NBC Radio reports from Housing Minister Orlando Brewster about the recovery effort. Let's go down. Contractors, you're out there, skilled workers, unskilled workers involved in construction. Please contact the Ministry of Housing if you want to get involved in the housing program. Please contact BRAXA if you want to get involved in the building program in relation to government buildings, schools, and the like, and further clean up and everything, please. All right. He says there is no contracting SVG building contractor who should be out of work today. There is no skilled worker, no unskilled worker who is involved in construction. Nobody should be out of work today in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have work for you to do. Please come forth. I can't make it any clearer than that. All right. And to tie that in, last week, another article, Taiwanese firm awarded hospital contract prioritizes local workers, says the embassy. All right, so this is in relation to the same acute hospital that Dr. Thompson just made reference to, where coming out of that article, it says that they will be prioritizing local persons with the building of this hospital. Now, I think what came to my mind as I read all of this is, would we be running out of workers?
Well, listen. If somebody brought up another topic that the unemployment rate in savings is 45%, 50%, 90%.
So can I say something before you move on? So as you're mentioning that, when I read this article where the PM is pleading for contractors and workers, I remember him making this call a while back, and I was quite surprised to know we have heard this statement about our unemployment rate. I was really surprised to know that they still did not have enough of who they have. So I'm
right, so-
really interested.
It is.
So both of you stick a pin right there because we
Go-
have
go
to take
quotes.
a break for quotes.
All
All
right.
right, stick a pin right
after
there.
quotes. After quotes.
All right,
Is this-
let's take it because it just might be. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Calling from Coach Ready Cash.
Go right ahead.
Okay, good morning once again. So I'm here this morning to let you guys know what we have in store. So currently we have our back to school promotion. That's where you take a loan of $2,000 or more and you get to win a prize. We do have our usual loans as well. We have our payday loans. That's where you take a loan of up to $1,000. Well, from 300 to 1,000 for 3 months. The interest is free on that. We have our regular loans. That's where you require to bring 2 pieces of ID, proof of address in the form for utility bill, most recent payslip or job letter. That's requirements for all loans. We also have our business loans for business owners and agriculture loans as well. It's a bit different for the agriculture and business loans. They'll use the same 2 pieces of ID. The business must be in operation for at least 1 year. The business must be at a fixed location. We use the same utility bill. You must present a record or sales for up to at least 3 months. You can use a bank statement as well and provide a 6-month bank statement for business loans and agriculture loans as well. So we are open from Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We're located right after Lady J, opposite the post office. Our contact number is 494-5380 and 493-7623. Again, the current promotion that we have in store is our back to school promotion. You take a loan of up to $2,000 or more. You get to win a prize. We have our payday loans. You take from 300 to 1,000 interest free. You pay back within 3 months. We have our regular cash loan. You can get up to $4,000 for first-time customers. That's 2 pieces of ID, proof of address in the form for utility bill, most recent job letter and payslip. And we have our business loans and agriculture loans as well. Use the same required documents, 2 pieces of ID, proof of address in the form for utility bill, most recent bank statement. Sorry about that. At least 6 months bank statement for that one. Your business must be at a fixed location. Our contact number is 494-5380, 493-7623. And you can come into our office right after Lady J, opposite the post office, Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's it. That's all we have for you guys this morning.
All right. Thank you very much for that update.
Alrighty.
And I wish you a good one today.
Alrighty, thank you as well.
All right. And that was our quotes test, which came to us from Quotes St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now we are going to take a quick break and then we'll be back with more activated mornings.
It's the Quartz Appliance Event. Cook it, try it, bake it on a new Mabe 30-inch gas stove for only $2,399. Stack it, pack it.